Queen's Indian defense, Fianchetto, classical, traditional variation, 7, ne4. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. Opening with the queen's pawn. The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. Nf3 strengthens the d4 piece and moves the knight closer to the center while exerting more control over the e5 square. e6 sets up the d7 d5 pawn push and creates openings for the bishop on the dark squares. c4 gains space on the queen side and center, and prepares to develop the knight to c3. The bishop is prepared to grow into a functional square. The light-squared bishop is getting ready to be fianchetto on g2, where it will be positioned on the long diagonal. Fianchetto move bb7 places the bishop on the long diagonal. Fianchetto move bg2 places the bishop on the long diagonal. b7 develops the bishop and prepares to castle. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. And c3 develops the knight toward the center and controls the d5 and e4 squares. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. ne4 places the knight on a center square where it attacks the knight on c3 and the f2 pawn. It is the last book move. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening.